following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
The Pats were booming in Motown yesterday, banging out a season-high 15 hits and 10 runs to tattoo the Tigers. Corey Kluber benefited and kept the middle of the Detroit order quiet for the second day in a row. He also got a little help from his friends in the field to put the Tribe in position for a sweep. Carlos Carrasco hoping for more early offense as he tries for 3 wins in a row. Next on Sports Time Ohio. A spectacular sunny Sunday afternoon in the Motor City, where today the Cleveland Indians will try to sweep this 3-game series from the Tigers at Comerica Park. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians are in position to sweep because they've had great starting pitching, and the offense really woke up yesterday. Maybe the key to all of this, Carlos Santana in the leadoff spot. Who would have thought it, huh?
I don't know. He has taken a liking to the leadoff spot for whatever reason. It's given him a spark offensively. Hit the home run, has a couple of doubles, has 4 hits. And, he's been very good in that spot, so why not? This will probably be the last day he's going to be in that spot, so hopefully it ends on a good note. We'll see today.
Carlos Carrasco is off to a tremendous start this year on the hill for the Indians. We know Corey Kluber's the ace of the staff, certainly pitched like it yesterday, getting his first win. But Carlos Carrasco is not far behind him, is he?
No, he is not. His slider's as good as anybody in baseball's. And, for Carlos, let's feed off the other starters that have pitched in this series between Tomlin and Kluber if he can come in here. This has been a tough place for him to pitch, 2-4 in his career, but he's not going to have to face Miguel Cabrera in that lineup today. He gets a day off, so Carrasco 2-0 on the year. He's going to be matched up against Shane Green. Shane Green is 1-1, and he gave up 7 runs in his last start. But a year ago to the day, the Indians scored 8 runs off him in a start and tagged a loss right here in this ballpark.
Well, it's been 8 years since the Indians last swept a series from the Tigers here in Detroit. We'll see if they can pull it off this afternoon. We'll send it back to the studios. When we come back, we'll also hear from Andre Knott, who will get us updated on the tremendous defense played by Francisco Lindor so far this year. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Day here in Detroit. Going to be a little chilly once again. Breeze looks like it's going to be blowing in. 57 degrees at game time. Partly cloudy skies, but all in all, not a bad way to wrap the weekend up here in Detroit. Francisco Lindor's had a very good series at both sides of the ball at the plate. Talking with Andre right there, his defense has been spectacular. He made a play yesterday. Our great clip of the game. I mean, you won't see many better than this. This ball was a cannon shot off the bat of Miguel Cabrera. Knocked him down, but not to be deterred. He got up and threw him out to execute a sterling defensive gem.
He had absolutely no chance to get out of the way of that. It was either catch it or he was going to have a hole in his chest. He caught it, he threw him out. It turned out to be a very good play.
Let's go down to Andre now with more.
Well, the interesting thing about that play is that Omar Vizquel, the great shortstop for the Cleveland Indians in the 90s, was right here at the first base line in the first base box. I talked to him earlier today about the abilities of Francisco Lindor, and he says he's amazed at some of the plays that he's able to make day in and day out, but he wouldn't compare him to him. I asked Frankie a little bit later on today, does he compare himself to Omar? He says no, but he goes, if I can be anywhere near where he was defensively, that means I'll be one of the greatest ever, right? The kid gets it, knows where he's at, and his defense has changed what this pitching staff has done as well. Right now, here's the hear right sounds of the game.
I tried to get up as fast as I could. I fell, and it was just, the only thing I saw when I looked up, it was my toes. I saw the white part of my cleats. I was like, uh-oh. I tried to get up and just threw the ball.
I think the ball caught him. Top spin must have knocked him down, I guess. No. But yeah, it was funny, but at the same time, he kept his head about him, and he was able to get up and still make the play.
Yeah, the ball caught him. That's a good way to put it for Corey Kluber, who gave it up. But you get the out. He's fun to watch play shortstop. With 22 years old, he's going to be around a long time, and we'll be the beneficiaries of watching that guy flash the leather.
Yeah, because I think he's one of those rare individuals. He has the drive inside him to not just be ordinary, not just be good, but to be great.
He has fun in the game. He laughs, he smiles, he enjoys it. You'd like to see that more from a lot of other players as well.
Let's take a look at Terry Francona's starting lineup today. It's brought to you by Progressive. Carlos Santana once again will lead it off. Then it's Jason Kipnis followed by Francisco Lindor. Mike Napoli will hit cleanup. Jose Ramirez moves into the number 5 spot. Marlon Byrd 6, Juan Uribe 7. Tyler Naquin quietly riding a 5-game hitting streak. Will bat 8th, and then the catcher today is Roberto Perez, and he will hit 9th.
And our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is going to be Shane Green, who is making his 4th start. Is 1-1, a 7.15 ERA. He is also 1-1 in his career against the Indians. They roughed him up a year ago in this ballpark where he pitched 4 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs allowed, walked 2 and struck out 1. Sinker ball pitcher, left-handers make him get the ball up, and they could have some success if they stay on it and do not try to pull the baseball. Let's check out the defense behind Green this afternoon. It's a little different, and it looks like this. Aviles gets the start in left field. Gose is back in center. J.D. Martinez in right. Castellanos at third. Iglesias is short. Kinsler at second. Romine gets the start at first today, and Saltalamacchia is behind the plate.
The umpires today, Ramon De Jesus will have the plate. The crew chief, Gary Cederstrom, is at first. Eric Cooper at second. Adrian Johnson down at third. And we are ready to go. Shane Green's first pitch is in for a strike. And Santana looks, that's low.
Yeah, this is the guy I told you, a sinker ball pitcher. You must make him get the ball up a little bit, or you'll beat the ball into the ground.
Nice pitch. As that finds the strike zone, he gets ahead 1-2. Santana lifts one in the air, shallow right. Out goes Kinsler. Calls for it, now called off by J.D. Martinez. 1 down. Before the ball game, kids are on the field, and Jose Iglesias, his son, taking the shortstop spot with his dad. Nice father-son moment there, huh? Whoops, lost the lid.
Looked like Jose Ramirez with the helmet flying off.
Jason Kipnis stands in. Kip in pretty good spirits this morning after his Chicago Blackhawks rallied from a 2-goal deficit last night to beat St. Louis and force a Game 7 in their first-round playoff series. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's also in good spirits because he's swinging the bat really well. 14 hits in his last 12 games. You know, even a game like yesterday where at times it was maybe a bit frustrating for him, still managed to find a couple of holes out there, picked up 2 hits, scored a run. Right back to the screen.
They're really playing Kip in center field. Ghost is shading him to left field and playing in a little bit, so you can tell they're going to stay with those sinkers and changeups down and away. But he has a lot of room in right center field.
And Kipnis asks for time. It's granted. Popped him up, foul, out of play.
Shane Green's last start came against the Kansas City Royals, and they roughed him up.
Inside, a full count.
Pitched 4 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 7 runs, and he also walked 4.
Kipnis bangs one right back through the box. And the Indians have a 1-out single here in the first. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Score first. When the Indians score first, they are 7-1 on the year. And keep the middle of that Tigers order in check. The Indians have done a terrific job so far with Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and J.D. Martinez. No Miguel Cabrera in the lineup today. And neither is Justin Upton.
Well, and the nice thing about it, when you give that stat, when they scored first, they scored first in the first 2 games of the series in the first inning. This is much like yesterday. Kipnis got the 1-out single.
Lindor taking a strike. 2 for 7 in the series with a couple of runs scored for Lindor. Does Green give the indication that he's a guy you can run on?
I'm going to check his move out right now. We'll see. I know one thing, Sal Tulamaki is a guy, they had a couple of stolen bases yesterday. They stole a run. He threw one into center field when it was first and third. So we'll see how. Yeah, he's pretty quick.
It's not a true slide step, but.
No, but for a big guy, he just gets it to the catcher in time. It's a little over a second. And, you know, it's about 1.1, and the average is 1.3. So he gives his catcher the opportunity.
So far this year, Jason Kipnis is a perfect 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Draws a throw here. Sometimes this is a count you might want to run on, thinking it's a breaking ball count. Not running, and Lindor finds the hole in right field. Kipnis stops at second base. Martinez got to it quickly, and back-to-back singles here in the first inning.
I think they actually did Lindor a favor right there. They came with a breaking ball with 2 strikes, and he didn't get it inside, and the hole is available there between first and second. So what you do, instead of that sinker down on a way where you're looking for a ground ball, possibly double play, he didn't locate that breaking ball, and Lindor able to punch it in the hole. So they sort of helped him out right there, and Lindor took advantage of it.
Well, 2 on with 1 out, and Mike Napoli the batter. Napoli 6 out of 19 with a runner in scoring position so far this year. And he takes a strike. Napoli not sure he agrees with Ramon De Jesus in that call. Tigers want Green to pound the strike zone more. The walks and the pitch count really hurt him in his first couple of outings this year. This down and in, 1-1.
Yeah, Green in his career has certainly been better against righties than lefties. So the lefties take advantage of him. They have the table set here in the first.
Just outside, 2-1. Jared Saltalamacchia said of Green in his first couple of starts, he said, you know, we go over the scouting reports before the game, and maybe we nitpick a little bit too much, try to be too fine with the pitch. A little bit like Anibal Sanchez yesterday. He said sometimes you just got to let his stuff play instead of trying to hit the corner with that perfect pitch.
Agreed.
2-1 to Napoli right at the bottom of the zone, and that'll even the count at 2-2.
Well, let's check the location. And you can see it down and away. Really tough pitch to hit, but it was in a really good spot. If he keeps the ball down there, he will get ground balls.
Now 2 on, 1 out, and the 2-2 pitch. And Napoli fouls it back. Green's 2-2. And that's down and in, a full count.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd get a little restless
already.
Now. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure is. You get a base hit here, and you can really, they did it to him early yesterday.
Well, 31 pitch inning in the first yesterday for Sanchez, and you know this will be 22 for Green already with 1 out. Swung on and missed. He strikes out Napoli, 2 down.
Looks like he rides that fastball up and in. Elevates it, gets it just above the belt. You watch the movement. Napoli swings through it, so Green gets a big second out, and that ball was just a touch above the belt.
Well, that'll bring up Jose Ramirez. 1 for 5 in the series. He had a big 2-out RBI hit in the first inning yesterday. Green gets ahead with a quick strike. Indians trying to cash in early for the 3rd straight game. And Ramirez chased one.
Yeah, he tied him up there. They came back inside.
He's been clutch so far, but he's in a really tough spot here. Well, that nearly hit him, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Jose Ramirez has done a lot of his damage to this point of the year on the road, going 6 for 21 with a home run. Pops this one lazy in the air to left. Mike Aviles makes the catch, and Shane Green gets out of the first without allowing a run. Now the Tigers are coming to bat when we come back. For the Tigers under manager Brad Ausmus. Ian Kinsler will lead it off. Jose Iglesias batting second. Victor Martinez will hit third. J.D. Martinez batting cleanup. Nick Castellanos will hit fifth. Jared Saltalamacchia batting sixth. Former Indian Mike Aviles will hit seventh. Andrew Romine batting eighth, and Anthony Goes will hit ninth.
Carlos Carrasco is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher. And Carrasco is making his fourth start. He's 2-0 to this point, coming off a very good start against Seattle. 6 1/3, 4 hits, just the 1 run. And in his career, he is 4-6 against the Tigers, 2-4 in this ballpark.
And Carlos Carrasco with a fastball strike to Ian Kinsler.
Stopped Kinsler's 10-game hitting streak yesterday.
And Corey Kluber stopped a lot of streaks yesterday. Kinsler had a 10-game streak stopped. Victor Martinez, Nick Castellanos also had their hitting streaks ended. In the air, pretty well hit, deep left field. Back is Ramirez on the track and makes the catch right in the middle of that warning track for out number 1.
Let's check the Indians defense behind Carrasco this afternoon. It'll be Ramirez in left field making that catch. Naquin is in center, Bird over and right. Uribe at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis at second. Santana gets a start at first today, and Perez is behind the plate. And that defense is brought to you by Jeep.
Jose Iglesias. Bangs one to first base, and Carlos Santana will take it himself. 2 down. As an interesting side story to today's game, Ramon DeJesus, the home plate umpire, we talked about it the other night when he made his debut at second base in the series opener. He is the first Dominican-born umpire in Major League Baseball, and he said, you know, just being from the Dominican, it's such a huge baseball country. He said it's a huge thrill and a great honor.
I bet he had a few nerves before he gets his first start behind home plate like a player would, you know.
Well, it probably helped. The other night he said, the first game he said it was just like you always want an umpire game to be. Just kind of no issues, just
yeah, you don't want to be seen or
right,
heard of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helped him prepare. Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief, had worked with him in spring training. He said he's a very talented umpire. Said he was proud of him, thought he did a really good job in his first game. Look, the umpires do a lot of things that they keep track of that we don't notice during a game, such as being in position, making sure you're where you're supposed to be at all times. So congratulations to Ramon de Jesus.
Congratulations and good luck, because there will be people on you shortly.
The 0-1 pitch. And Carrasco going right at Victor Martinez. It's 0-2. Indians have held Martinez to 1 hit in the series, an opposite field double against Josh Tomlin in the series opener. He waves at that pitch, and Carrasco strikes him out on 3 tosses to end the first inning. No score after 1 in Detroit.
Live with MLB.com @bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Marlon Byrd will lead off the second inning for Cleveland. And he swings at a pitch, sends a towering pop to center. Anthony goes, will grab it, 1 away.
Well, check out the sequence to Victor Martinez on our Nissan pitch tracker, and you can see the good sinker get ahead, a nice slider away for strike 2, and then he gets a good fastball outside at 97 miles per hour that took off, had some movement to it.
Well, Carlos needed 7 pitches to get through the first inning, while Shane Green needed 26. But on 1 pitch, he retires Marlon Byrd to start the second inning, and Juan Uribe takes a called strike. Uribe 0 for 4 Friday night, sat out yesterday. And he takes a pitch to even the count. And he sends one to center field. This one won't get out, to goes. Kinsler grabs it, 2 down.
Well, so far, I'm looking. Green does not have a ground ball out. Got the one strikeout and then 4 balls in the air.
Well, Tyler Naquin has hit in 5 straight games, going 5 out of 18. One of his hits in this series went for a double. One ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, that double he hit was deep to left field. Short hopped the left field wall over the head of Upton.
Pulls that foul up the first base side. And now Shane Green gets ahead of ball and 2 strikes. Upstairs with it, 2-2.
Send out our birthday wishes to Tyler Naquin today, 25 years old.
He takes a called 3rd strike. Shane Green sets him down 1-2-3 here in the 2nd inning. And we are scoreless in Detroit. We're ready to go to work here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, facing J.D. Martinez, Nick Castellanos, and Jared Saltalamacchia. J.D. Martinez has cooled off, just 1 hit in his last 16 at-bats. And he promptly ropes one into center field. Taking over to cut it off, and Martinez has a leadoff single.
Well, Martinez has put up very good numbers against Carrasco at 333 clip. And he has a couple of home runs, and he hangs him a slider right there, and he bangs it right back up the middle. So the Tigers get their first hit. A leadoff single here in the 2nd.
Nick Castellanos, his 8-game hitting streak came to an end yesterday. He'll bat with the leadoff man aboard here in the second. Crowd sort of groans after the first pitch strike to Castellanos. And he waves at that pitch. It's 0-2. Left center. Aquin calling for it. And the center fielder is there to grab it. One away.
Well, 2016 season tickets are still available and include 8 different plans that they offer. And when you buy a prorated 20-game plan, you get up to 12 games for free. You can go to Indians.com season tickets for more details.
Jared Saltalamacchia off to a great start for Detroit, batting a .282. You see 6 homers already. His 100th career home run came back on April the 13th. And he did it in fine fashion, hitting a grand slam against Pittsburgh.
Well, he's the one that got Detroit on the board yesterday with a solo home run. Kluber found a fastball down and in, and he hit it into the seats and right.
Out of play, 1 ball, 1 strike. Speaking of hitting him into the seats, Corey Dickerson, a 2-run homer for Tampa in the first. After they scored another run, Steven Souza Jr., a 2-run homer. Michael Pineda has given up 5 in the first for New York.
I could see Dickerson loving that ballpark. You know, that big left-hander. He's got the uppercut with Tampa. Short right field porch. I could see that.
And a strike called. Puts Saltalamacchia in the hole, 1-2. The other Chris Davis has homered for Oakland. They lead Toronto 1-0 in the second inning. That's the Chris Davis with a K.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Here's the 1-2. Pop back out of play. We'll head to Target Field in Minneapolis after this one's over. Twins and Nationals are underway in our nation's capital, scoreless in the first. Indians have the shift on with the right side of the infield, trying to take away a hit from Saltalamacchia here. 1-2, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw it down to second base, and they got him for a double play. Carrasco strikes out Saltalamacchia, and Roberto Perez with a perfect throw to Lindor, who tags out JD Martinez, inning over. one on this sunny Sunday afternoon. To stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Roberto Perez, batting ninth, leads off the third inning. And Perez shortened as if to maybe bunt that ball, pulled it back. A little bit high, 2-0. And a foul back.
Perez looking for his first hit this year. Only 5 at bats. Hasn't had many opportunities to catch in a ball game. This will be his third start.
Now the 2-1. And a foul right back. As I said, Jared Saltalamacchia, the Tigers catcher, off to a great start offensively. You know, for years here, Alex Avila was the mainstay behind the plate. He's now with the White Sox and placed on the disabled list today with a hamstring injury.
Hurt again.
His father, Al Avila, is the new general manager here in Detroit, taking over for Dave Dombrowski after he left last year. And of course, Dave now running the Boston Red Sox. Now the 3-2 pitch. Low, ball 4. I was thinking, Rick, as hard as it would be to be the general manager of a Major League Baseball club and have your own kid play for you, it's got to be equally tough when the Tigers play the White Sox this year to have your son playing on the other side.
Yeah, it's tough to either trade him or get rid of him or let him sign elsewhere. I'm sure it's difficult, but that's part of the game.
I'm sorry, son, we don't have a place for you. You're going to have to pack your bags and get out again. There's Carlos Santana, fly to right his first time up. And he checked his swing, and it's fouled off toward the Tiger dugout.
I want to send along some congratulations to Mike Sokolowski back in Cleveland, a good buddy of ours.
Big
inducted
Mike.
Inducted into the Cleveland Central Catholics Athletic Hall of Fame today. So
Very
Mike,
nice.
congratulations, my friend. He's been with us down at fantasy camp as an umpire and loves sports, Cleveland sports.
The 0-1, Santana lines it right to Kinsler, and a double play.
Well, right on the nose, this ball is hit to Kinsler, and once Perez took that stop, he just hesitated a step too long, and he's not the quickest. He's a catcher back there. He couldn't get back in time, and they double him off first base.
Jason Kipnis singled right back up the middle in the first inning. And takes up high, 1-1. Tigers got off to a great start. They were 6-2 to start the year. They've lost 6 of their last 8 since, though. Kipnis trying to get one up the middle again. Kinsler cuts it off and throws him out. So Ian Kinsler with some solid defensive work here in the third, and we are still scoreless. Cavs Pistons game 4, 8 o'clock over on Fox Sports Ohio. Don't miss any of the action with our buddies Fred McLeod and Austin Carr and Allie. They'll have it all for you. Fox Sports Ohio tonight, 8 o'clock. It's game 4, April in the OH, brought to you by Meyer.
Yeah, they have a chance for the sweep tonight. Good luck to them.
Mike Avila swings at the first pitch. Routine chopper to third, and Uribe throws him out, one down. Yeah, we saw the guys loading up the bus and heading out to the shoot-around this morning before we left the hotel. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Michael Brantley played the game last night, so he's played back-to-back games. What's next? Let's go down to Andre.
When the team lands in Minnesota tonight, Michael Brantley will be there to meet with the team. He will then meet with the training staff and the coaching staff tomorrow afternoon, and they'll come up with a game plan for Michael Brantley. Tito Francona told me this morning, he goes, look, he doesn't have to play every day. We can get him to play 2 out of 3 days to start this thing off, and that'll be perfect for him. So it looks like, if everything goes as planned, Michael Brantley will be with the team tomorrow and possibly in the lineup on Tuesday.
Any idea what move they're going to make, Andre?
I was going to ask you that since you got your eyes
well,
and ears
no,
everywhere.
you're down there. I mean, you know, you're tight, so let's go.
Well, we got a couple of ideas, but I think at some point in time, I think you look at the bullpen, how many guys can you keep in the bullpen? And then the other question is, you know, with your outfielders, how many can you keep? And they want to keep Jose Ramirez playing some left field early on, even though they know he's an infielder. And they said with Ramirez, they're going to get him play in the infield and the outfield and get him 5 days a week, so it'll be interesting.
Oh, Carrasco with a nice play, but is he okay? He looks a little gimpy getting up.
Looks like an ankle.
Did he get stepped on? Oh, man, this is not looking real good. It looked like he was trying to find the bag, Rick, and he might have dragged his leg across, exposing part of his leg to the base runner. And Andre, did you see anything from down there?
I'm not sure. I think it's more of an this is speculation, but it looks more like we're looking at the knee or the hamstring right now.
That's not good. He's
grimacing. Not good. And they are trying to flex the knee, so it's not going to be good.
He appears to be in a great deal
of pain.
The
back part of the knee. That's what he's grabbing, like almost like a hammy.
Trevor Bauer is already getting loose in the Indians' bullpen. It does not look like Carrasco is going to be able to continue.
No, he's in pain. That is not good. Check this out. All right, he's going in line. There's the ball. Here's the flip. Oh, he stumbled. He stumbled a little bit and then reached for the bag. That's what happened. Right before he got to the base, he was trying to get his footwork in there, and then his foot caught the top of the base. But that does not look good because they're carrying him off.
Did it look like the leg just locked up? Maybe the knee locked up on him?
I don't know. Hard to tell. Very hard to tell, but that is not good.
Boy, you talk about deflating. This guy has put himself in position to be right at the top of the rotation alongside Corey Kluber. And you just have to hope, keep fingers crossed, that this is not a serious injury, but it does not look good. Trevor Bauer getting loose. He'll get all the time he needs to warm up because this is an injury situation.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what happened right now. That's why they sit him on the bench, and they're just going to sit there for a minute and see, and I'm sure they'll take him up to that clubhouse in a hurry.
Well, the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. Trevor Bauer is coming in from the pen, and he'll be on the hill when we return. Let's take a couple more looks at that replay, see if there's anything we can see that would indicate what happened to Carlos Carrasco, but the news is not good here in Detroit. Helped first off the field and now still can't put any weight on that left leg. He's being helped into the clubhouse where they'll take a closer look at him. And I would imagine they'll order up all the relevant exams, whether or not it's an MRI or whatever has to be done, taken.
When he first got up, he grabbed his hamstring. When you look, you see the flip. See that left leg
right there.
And then all of a sudden, he's on top of the base, and when he gets up, he grabbed his left hamstring.
You could see him start to yell, though, when he planted that left leg the last time. It's the final plant. Not here,
right here.
But right here. Boom. That's when he starts to yelp.
You know what? And if a hamstring goes on, you can feel it pop back there. And look at there he is. He's grabbing it right there. So then he goes right down to the ground. So that could be it.
Well, we'll wait and we'll get the official update from the Indians medical staff. But boy, that's a real deflating development in this ball game. But it obviously, is always the case in the world of professional sports in particular, it opens up an opportunity now, and that opportunity is in front of Trevor Bauer. who was battling for a spot in the starting rotation throughout spring training, but ultimately landed a spot out of the bullpen. And we'll see how long Bauer can go here this afternoon in what will now be a long relief role.
Well, we were just talking about the move that they may be making, you know, with Brantley coming back. And right now, after what we just witnessed, I'm going to have to say it's got to be a position player, because I don't think Carrasco would be back and ready for his next start the way he hobbled off here, this ballpark, or, you know, off the field.
Now Trevor Bauer getting loose. He's worked in 5 games this year, a total of 8 innings. He's walked 4, struck out 10. But, you know, again, even though it's, gee, we're already 3 weeks into the season, I guess, and he hasn't really been in a starting role, but throughout spring training, he had the arm strength build up to where he was ready to be a starting pitcher. So if they were to need him to move into a starting spot, I wonder if, you know, if he'd be ready to just slide into that role. A lot of it might depend on how this goes right here.
Exactly right.
There are 2 outs in the inning, and Anthony Goes, the number 9 place hitter, will be the batter. Goes is 0 for his last 10. And takes a first pitch strike. I always wonder about the psychological impact that has on the rest of the players on the field. You've got to put it out of your mind as quickly as possible, but initially it's got to be just like somebody punched you in the gut.
Yeah, nobody likes to see that. What'll happen, you get off the field and they'll go in and ask and see what's going on with Cookie. Is he all right? I mean, they'll figure it out.
Upstairs 2-2. Swung out and missed. Bauer strikes him out, and the inning is over. But the Indians watch Carlos Carrasco have to be helped off the field here in the 3rd. No score. No score, 4th inning. And Francisco Lindor, who singled in the 1st inning, leads off for Cleveland. Now a 1-1. Missed up high.
Lindor base hit this first at bat. That's when the 2 Indians hits came, was in the 1st. They had an opportunity, couldn't do anything with it.
And he draws a leadoff walk here in the 4th. And that's the bugaboo that has plagued Shane Green. He worked around a leadoff walk last inning on the line drive double play, and now here comes Brad Ausmus. They're going to check on Shane Green. Drew Verhagen is actually up in the Tigers bullpen, so they might have had a sense that something was wrong with Green.
Looking at his hand, I don't know if it's a blister or anything that, but they're looking at the pitching hand like something was wrong with one of the fingers.
How do you like
So now
that?
he's
Green is
gone.
out of the ball game. So both starting pitchers make an early exit due to injury here this afternoon in Detroit. Green is out. Drew Verhagen will be coming on. And a strange Sunday unfolding here in Detroit.
Boy, it sure is.
Shane Green shook his hand, blew on his hand. When did he realize it was bleeding?
Well, probably when that seam just ripped open. It looks like that middle finger. And you can see it's bleeding, so he was upset when he was removed from the ball game. So weird situation going on here in Detroit. Both starting pitchers had to leave the game due to injuries. Carrasco's much worse than Shane Greens. And Drew Verhagen is going to take over, appearing for the 10th time. He came in Friday night's ball game and went an inning.
I don't think I've ever seen that, though, where starting pitchers both exited within a span of about 5 minutes of each other because of injury this early in a game. Strange.
Certainly going to be decided by the bullpens.
Mike Napoli leads on, or takes a pitch up high. Francisco Lindor led off the inning with a walk. He's down at first. Lindor leaning, but he's able to get back. Upstairs, and the count 2-0.
Verhagen spent time at Double-A last year, Triple-A, a couple of stints up here in Detroit.
That was really close. Lindor just did get back in time. Really accurate throw to the bag by Verhagen made that close.
Well, he was flinching. It looked like he wanted to go the other way, but by the time they put the tag on his back pocket, he had a hand on the bag.
Lindor inching off. He has to scamper back again. Napoli a chopper to third. It's a fair ball behind the bag. Only play is at first. He's retired, one away. Lindor moves into scoring position. It's going to bring up Jose Ramirez, who flied to left with 2 on and 2 out to end the first inning. Court Barry Tripp, Indians assistant director of baseball information, has gone to the Indians clubhouse, so we'll pass along any word on the extent of the injury to Carlos Carrasco when it becomes available. Ramirez trying to shoot the gap in left center. That's going to get. Oh, it gets down. It gets away from the center fielder, goes, and Lindor will score, and the Indians have themselves a 1-0 lead. Boy, Goes almost made a spectacular catch. In fact, I think he thought that he had it. He raised the glove initially to show the umpire and didn't realize it had popped loose.
I agree. He thought he caught it, but never really had it in the glove as it trickles away. And Lindor out at second base. He was 3/4 of the way down there, and then he sees the baseball, and he was able to turn around and score, and that run will be charged to Shane Greene. So the Indians score first again.
And a runner in scoring position with 1 out from Marlon Byrd. Fly to center is only time up. Again, that's one of those hits where you wonder if that's just the spacious nature of this outfield.
Well, it is, because you have to, even though the wind is blowing in, it's going to knock it down a little bit today.
Byrd shoots one to right field. That's a base hit. Coming around third, Jose Ramirez going to be waved home. Martinez throw to the plate, well offline. Jose scores standing, and the Indians lead is 2-0. give Marlon Byrd his 6th run batted in on the year.
Take it the other way. Byrd, a nice job. It's not hit all that hard, but he stayed on it nicely. By the time J.D. Martinez could get it, Ramirez comes around. He will score. The throw was offline. And now the Indians with a pair.
And Juan Uribe, the batter, with Byrd at first. And Uribe tried to hold up. He went around, says Gary Cederstrom, strike one. Uribe shoots one into the crowd down the right side. No balls, 2 strikes, the kill. And he lashes one down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Not by a whole lot, I don't think.
No, it wasn't. It looked like it hit some of the dirt out there.
Just wide of the chalk, deep down that left field line. Maybe a couple of feet. Foul. So already in this bat, we've seen Uribe try to shoot one to the right side. Trying to pull that one to the left side. They're coming in with this pitch, and he pops it to shallow right. Out goes Kinsler and makes the catch. 2 down.
We'll look at Shane Green, who started this inning. This is why one of the reasons he had to come out. Watch the pitch. There's the throw to the baseball, and you can see the red on the baseball. Wow. That's blood coming off his finger right there.
It's like it was going away. Red dot softball. Man, that was pretty legit.
Yeah.
Well, that shot we had of him standing on the mound with his palm facing up, looked like he was shucking oysters. I mean, that thing was. That didn't look like your average blister busting loose.
No, it didn't.
Two down for Tyler Naquin, and he lines one into right center field. That's a base hit. That's in the alley. This could be trouble. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Marlon Byrd flying around third. He'll be waved home. He can score standing, and Tyler Naquin goes in standing with an RBI 2-out triple to extend the Indians' lead to 3-0.
Boy, that's nice, running it up the alley in right center field. Naquin will get his first major league triple. Put a nice swing on it, and boy, with 2 outs, you're going to send them all the way. Byrd, there you see he's carrying the mail. He'll come around to score, and it's a 3-run inning.
I'll tell you what, Naquin almost caught him.
Yeah, he was flying. He was fun to watch. Watch him go around the bases. He hits it. He knows he's going to third all the way. This is a great triples park.
And so, with Naquin at third base and 2 down, Roberto Perez taking a called strike. And Tyler Naquin has now hit in 6 straight games. And that missed outside, 2-1. Now the 2-1. Low, 3 balls and a strike. Action in the Tiger bullpen. Another left-hander, Matt Boyd. strike called, full count. Roberto Perez takes the walk, and the inning continues.
Second walk today. An opportunity to watch Taylor go from home to third on his first major league triple. Right in stride there. Made the decision, no problem, because he knew he had a long way to go. Just goes in standing up.
The 30-second clock has expired, so the pitching coach has to leave. Boyd continues to warm up as the Indians try to continue their assault on Drew Verhagen here in the fourth inning. Shane Green began the inning, but after the walk to Francisco Lindor, he left with an injury to his pitching hand. Since then, the Indians have collected 3 hits, and they've scored 3 times. Carlos Santana lined into a double play his last time up. Santana almost came out of his shoes swinging at that fastball.
Well, that's a little too swings a little too long.
And he's 0-2.
Right now, a base hit would be just fine to keep the rally going. They already have 3 on the board.
In the dirt, blocked nicely by Saltalamacchia. Tyler Naquin down at third. He tripled in a run. Roberto Perez at first. And Santana fouls that off. It stays 1-2. Two pitches in the inning for Verhagen. Santana steps away. Carlos is the 8th man to bat in the inning. Roberto Perez takes off, and it's strike 3 called, much to the chagrin of Carlos Santana. But the Indians get to the Tigers here in the 4th. They use 3 hits to drive in 3 runs, and they lead it 3-0. Detroit. Our stat of the game brought to you by Buick. In Major League history, these 6 men have a career batting average of .320 or better and 400 or more home runs.
Look at the names on that list.
Well, the home runs can't go down. Batting average, different story for Miguel Cabrera. Off to a very slow start, especially by his standards this year.
Well, it goes to show that even he is human in the game of baseball. He gets the day off, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go. Sometimes you need that mental break probably more than anything, no matter how good you are.
Kinsler fouls it back. Kinsler hit the ball hard his first time up. He drove the ball to deep left field where Jose Ramirez caught it on the warning track. And now against Trevor Bauer, he shoots one foul.
Tigers last year in the Central Division, they were 41 and 34. Right now they are 1 and 4, and they're in a stretch of 12 of the next 16 games against the American League Central. That's something the Indians are trying to do to get better this year.
Kinsler shoots one up the gut. Tigers get their leadoff man aboard, their second hit of the game.
Like Perez wants it upstairs a little bit, and it's down, and Kinsler takes it right back up the middle for a base hit.
Jose Iglesias grounded out his only time up. Shows bunt. That pitch was high. Likely he'd be bunting in this situation.
Well, maybe just trying to bring Uribe in at third base a little bit to give him something to shoot for.
Two and 0.
Might be taking a strike. It might even be bunting. Who knows?
Called a strike. It's 2-1. Quick throw over, but Kinsler back with a dive.
It's one thing the Tigers do not do. Steal a lot of bases. They only have 2 this year, which is last in the league. They've been caught 3 times. They have to hit to manufacture runs. They're not blessed with speed.
Iglesias has yet to take the bat off his shoulder. It's 2-2. Unless you call faking a couple of bunts taking the bat off your shoulder.
No, I do not.
And the 2-2 is swung out and missed. So Bauer disposes of Iglesias, 1 away.
This will be our Circle K strikeout for Trevor Bauer. He runs a fastball in, and that's the toughest pitch. It was in off the plate. So Iglesias really helped him out. That's the only swing in the at-bat. He swung at a ball. But Bauer and the Indians get the first out here in the 4th inning.
It was about an hour ago Victor Martinez had his first and only at-bat in this game, and he struck out on 3 pitches. Bombers this one into right field. And a base hit for Victor. Hazel stops at second. And the Tigers have 2 on with 1 out.
Looked like he jumped on that first fastball he sees from Bauer, down and in, and he liked it. Hits this one in front of Bird out in right field. So the second hit in the inning, first and second. That'll give J.D. Martinez an opportunity.
The Tigers, Rick, had gone 15 consecutive innings in this series without multiple base runners in the same inning.
That's the kind of job the pitching has been, you know, for the Indians. They've done a really nice job. That's what the thing that they have done. They've stayed inside. This is a Detroit team where if you pitch them away, they will kill you. I mean, you watch them come out here and they take their batting practice and they drive balls. But I'm saying he went back to back inside, and I mean that just shattered his bat. That was almost like a bunt.
It really
and,
was.
You know, he gets out, Perez to get the out at first base. They move out, but oh, nice sequence there. Stay in on the hands, and that's how you have to pitch all these hitters. You have to make them conscious of the inside part of the plate, and a good job by Bauer there to get the second out.
Probably felt like J.D. Martinez was swinging on a boulder when he made contact. So 2 on, 2 out. Nick Castellanos the batter. And he drives one to left field. Ramirez can't make the catch. 1 run will score, and both runs score. Victor Martinez goes tumbling after he crossed home plate. And just like that, the Tigers are back in the game on the 2-run base hit by Castellanos.
Yeah, he comes back. That one was sort of middle. It didn't get inside enough. And Castellanos gets it, and Ramirez makes a nice effort. But that ball was sinking on him. Had some topspin to it. He gets up quickly. And Perez tried to make the throw. I mean, the tag. And Victor gets his foot to the plate. Just misses him. I mean, if that was a little more accurate on the play, oh, he never really had the ball. Tough play for a catcher with the mask on to try and catch that ball and then put the tag on at the same time.
So on the throw, Castellanos gets into scoring position, and now Jared Saltalamacchia takes the ball.
Well, they come right back and answer a big 2-out base hit by Castellanos.
Not a play. 1-1. And it's 2-1 now on Saltalamacchia. The Indians have confirmed, by the way, it's a left hamstring injury for Carlos Carrasco. I guess the good news, at least initially, is that they're not talking about anything with the knee. The 2-2. Wow.
Now Bauer started walking off the mound, thought he had a pitch that he locked him up with on the inside part of the plate. A little comeback fastball. Wow, pretty good pitch right there.
And the payoff pitch is swung out and missed. So Bauer strikes him out to end the inning, but the Tigers strike back for 2 in the 4th. It's a 1-run Indians lead. To you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. By your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. By the Cleveland Clinic. Access anytime, anywhere. And by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. Well, the Indians have a 3-2 lead. And as we go to the 5th inning, Jason Kipnis will lead it off. Drew Verhagen still out there for Detroit. He was teetering in that 4th inning. Indians had 2 on with 2 out, couldn't punch another across. He struck out Santana to get out of the inning. Detroit bullpen quiet as we start the 5th. And 2 quick strikes. Rick, I don't know what's happened, but all of a sudden in the last inning, more and more hitters are growing displeased with the strike zone of Ramon de Jesus.
Yeah, I see the looks.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And another base hit up the gut for Kipnis. Both of his hits today almost carbon copies of each other. Right back through the middle, and the Indians have their leadoff man aboard in the 5th. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Jose Ramirez got the Tribe on the board first with an RBI double. He would come around to score on an RBI hit by Marlon Byrd. Then Tyler Naquin brought Byrd home with an RBI triple. It was 3-0 Cleveland. But then Nick Castellanos gave the Tigers life with a 2-run single with 2 outs in the bottom half of the inning. Lindor showing bunt, and he had to spin out of the way.
He's going to square around, and this one's up under his chin. Well, he must move. We'll see. Kipnis did a nice job getting a base hit on a breaking ball there. This is the guy you don't want to bunt. Frankie's doing the same thing. I think it would have to be on his own.
Lindor singled to right in the 1st, walked and scored in the 4th. And Lindor's got another base hit into right field. Kipnis hits second. He'll have to hold there. Martinez has a very good arm in right field.
Yeah, that's the second time today that Lindor found the hole between first and second, and it cost him a bat. That bat handle broke on him, but he found the hole. So there it is, first and second, nobody out. I'm sure that Tiger bullpen will be up and throwing again here shortly. They came right back to get back into the ball game. They can't afford to let the Indians come back and have a big crooked number on the board as pitching coach Rich Dubé goes out there to talk to Verhagen.
Yeah, and that Tiger bullpen busy. Left-hander Matt Boyd once again getting loose.
Yeah, he's going to stall for some time. Well, a $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio is back and includes your first drink. You can grab some friends and take them out and catch the game from the corner out in right field or the new drink rails in left. District tickets only available online at Indians.com.
Anthony Rizzo has homered twice today for the Cubs. They're beating up Cincinnati 8-0 in the fourth inning. Jose Bautista has homered for the Blue Jays. They've opened up a 6-1 lead on Oakland in the fifth.
Well, the Cubs can put some runs on the board, can't they?
No, they can't. Mike Napoli looks at ball one. Napoli 0 for 2 here this afternoon. Indians trying to come right back here in this fifth inning after they scored 3 in the fourth. And now it's 2-0 on the Indians DH.
Cubs today 110 runs, which leads the National League.
95-mile-an-hour fastball, and Napoli fouls it back. It's 2-1. Verhagen has made just over 30 pitches. Now the 2-1 to Napoli. A little low, 3 balls and a strike. Now the 3-1. And Napoli sends a drive to deep center. Back goes Anthony Goes. Now backpedaling makes the catch. Kipnis will tag. He'll go to third.
It's okay. He got his job done. Get him over to third base. Very spacious outfield here. Wind blowing in a little bit, knocking that ball down. But it was deep enough to get Kipnis to third base. And Lindor does his job because you go to second base in case he happens to drop it. And he does not make the catch, so he goes back to first, but they have him at first and third now. And a chance for Ramirez.
Well, Jose Ramirez flied out to end the first with a couple aboard. But then in the fourth inning, with a runner on base, he doubled in a run. It was a bloop double to shallow left center. And there's a ground ball single into right field. Scoring on the play is Kipnis. Lindor headed to third. He'll go in standing. And Jose Ramirez has delivered his second RBI hit of the afternoon. And the Indians' lead is now 4-2.
And he finds the hole. Gets a pitch elevated. Able to turn on it. And you can see Lindor sees it. He's going all the way to third. So they just trade spots. Keep him going out there, first and third. For a little while, they come right back, and it's a 4-2 ball game now. Ramirez with his 7th RBI.
Now Marlon Byrd, he shot one into right field for a base hit and an RBI in the fourth inning. See if he stays with that same approach here. A lot of times it depends on the location of the pitch. But from what we've seen from Marlon Byrd from the first day we saw him in spring training up until this point, I'm impressed with how he's not just a pull guy. I mean, he uses the whole field. Shoots this one right up the middle, and he's got a base hit and another RBI, and the Indians are up 5-2. And out comes Brad Ausmus to the Bronx cheers here in Detroit.
Now Bird, he knows the job right there. Let's get my guy in from third base, and he picked on an inside fastball, takes it right back up the middle. He has 2 RBIs. Ramirez has a pair of RBIs, and there's 4 hits in the inning. And the Indians come right back and answer that 2 spot they put on in the bottom half, and they get to Verhagen, and his day is over.
So a timeout in Detroit. Indians restore their 3-run advantage, and the left-hander Matt Boyd is coming on when we come back. They still have 2 on and only 1 out in this 5th inning. And the new pitcher is left-hander Matt Boyd, who was just called up today when the Tigers put Francisco Rodriguez on the family emergency medical list.
Right.
So that gives the Tigers 4 left-handers in there. Have you ever seen a bullpen that had more lefties than righties?
Well, I think they're just looking for somebody to pitch right now. The way it's going for them, it doesn't matter lefty or righty.
Juan Uribe will be the batter. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
Boyd started 3 games for Toledo down there before being recalled. They had a 1-2 record, a 2.25 ERA, 16 strikeouts over 3 games. The Indians on the verge of having another big inning. Already 2 in, but still 2 men on and just 1 out.
And Uribe swings and misses. Foul right back to the screen, nothing into the count.
The Indians in the last 2 days, 11 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Gotta love that.
Anytime you're better than 500 in that category.
Look, this is something that you can build on. You know, you get, you know, hitting with runners in scoring position, you know, it happened. You get hot, and you know, you cool off after a while. So stay hot and get everybody doing it.
Uribe pops that back into the crowd. Indians trying to stay hot here and finish off a 3-game sweep of the Tigers.
It's been a while since that has happened. Boy, you'd love to do it, and they're sitting pretty right now. Just keep right on scoring.
Jose Ramirez at second base, Marlon Byrd at first. And Uribe in the hole 0-2. He sends a blooper towards center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And they're going to wave Jose Ramirez around. And the center fielder goes, couldn't pick up the baseball, and the Indians steal another run.
Yeah,
they follow up their 3-run fourth with a 3-run fifth.
He couldn't find it. He dove for the baseball, and he got up to look around. He didn't realize it was sitting right there underneath him. And by the time he picks it up, Ramirez got started. He was going to go back thinking he caught the ball, but now he doesn't know where it's at. It's right off his foot. By the time he picks that up, Ramirez is able to come around and score. So Uribe gets an RBI single. That's 5 singles in the inning.
And up comes Tyler Naquin.
Indians again with 10 hits on the board.
Naquin tripled his last time up, driving in a run.
That's the 6th time the Indians now have 10 hits.
Now the 0-2 pitch. And Naquin bounces it to short. They get one at second, on the first, not in time. Naquin beats it out. They did everything they could to try and turn 2, but Naquin with good hustle and speed able to beat it out, keep the inning alive.
And you know what? That's a good deal, man. Keep it rolling. Don't let him get out of trouble. He hustles his way down the line. They got it over to Kinsler in a hurry, and the return, and the hustle by Naquin beats it out, and it gives you one more opportunity to score here.
And Roberto Perez will be the batter.
Right now it doesn't seem like a lot, but boy, if they can keep this inning going, you can get a base hit here. The hustle makes it all worth it.
Matt Boyd is a native of Bellevue, Washington. And it says here in the Tigers media guide he is a distant relative of Bob Felon.
Really?
And former First Lady of the United States, Dolly Madison. That's a pretty good family tree right there.
I was going to say, he's been online looking at that family tree.
Marlon Byrd is at third. Tyler Naquin holding at first. And Perez cuts and misses.
Good change up there, has him out in front. Perez is 2 at-bats. He's walked both times back in the 3rd and the 4th inning. Boyd has come out throwing strikes 9 pitches, 9 strikes.
That's up high, and Naquin with a delayed steal is a dead duck. So they throw him out to end the inning. But the Indians come back with a 3-spot in the 5th. Jose Ramirez, Marlon Byrd, and Juan Uribe each drive in a run. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning. And it will be the bottom third of the Tigers' order due up against Trevor Bauer. Now, Bauer came into this game in an odd situation. 2 outs, nobody on base in the 3rd inning. The injury to Carlos Carrasco, so he had to come out of the bullpen virtually ice cold. And then he had to sit around and wait while the Indians scored 3 runs in the top half of the 4th inning. Now he's had to sit around and wait again after they scored 3 more in the 5th.
I don't think he minds. You go out there and you put some runs on the board, it's always nice. But you can tell how this game has slowed down since the starters left.
Strike 3 called. Mike Avila's out looking. And that's already the 4th strikeout for Trevor Bauer. Time now for an in-game update. Here's Al Pawlowski. Thanks, Al. The 8 home runs hit by Anthony Rizzo, 1 fewer than the Miami Marlins have as a team.
Wow.
5 more than the Atlanta Braves have as a team.
Scary.
Pulls that foul. Andrew Romine to bounce out his first time up.
By the way, Alfredo Simon, the former Tiger, is started that game in Cincinnati for the Reds. He was here, and he had the Indians' number, didn't he? Was it last year?
I was thinking we saw him in spring training too. One of the games.
Cincinnati.
We did, yeah.
I know they signed him late. I'm not. Was it Alfredo Simon that?
Maybe we saw him somewhere else. Was he with somebody else this spring?
No, I think he was a late sign with Cincinnati. He may have been down there.
The 2-2, a little bit high, full count. And Romine draws a walk. Going to bring up Anthony Goes, who struck out his first time up. Out of play to the left.
Ghost was the first hitter that Bauer came on to face back in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. And Carrasco hurt that hamstring going to retire Romine.
Yeah, that reminds me, if you tuned in late or joined us after Carrasco left the game, it was in the 3rd inning. He had 2 outs, nobody on base. He actually had 1 out. And he was covering first for the 2nd out in the inning. And on his way to first base, his left hamstring. I don't know if you want to say it popped, he pulled, whatever. Something happened to the left hamstring on his right before he got to the bag. And after he touched first to record the out, he went to the ground writhing in pain and had to be helped off the field, that helped into the clubhouse. And the only information we have at this point is that it is an injury to that left hamstring. The 1-2. Swinging a fly ball to left. In comes Jose Ramirez, 2 away. And again, in case you missed it, this is what happened earlier. It really isn't a lot to see other than he's on his way to first, and right at the last minute, he just felt something in that left leg
that had to pop on him. It just gave way as he was covering. You could see it. It hurt. Boy, initially we thought it could have been the knee, but it was the hammy. There you'll see him go up there and grab that hamstring. Did not look good as he was heading into the clubhouse.
He couldn't put any weight on it at all. Not a play to the right by Ian Kinsler. And you know, this brings up a point that was mulled over by all of us who cover the team and are close to the situation. You know, as spring training was winding down, you're looking at the roster and who's in, who's out, what kind of moves they might make roster-wise. And even going back to the offseason as it unfolded, there was a lot of talk about the Indians potentially trading a pitcher. And these are the very reasons why you never have enough starting pitcher. You might think you have one extra that maybe you could trade, but boy, you just never know when an injury might pop up. And we don't know the extent of Carrasco's injury. He may not miss a start. It certainly doesn't look very good.
I'm guessing he will.
But it's nice to have at least some semblance of depth in your organization when it comes to starting pitching.
You certainly have to have it. You're right. You never have enough.
Now the 0-2. Swing and a foul. Just got a piece of it. Kinsler stays alive.
Well, it was the pitch before that set it up. He went inside on Kinsler. It really tied him up. He sort of checked his swing. So that enables him to open up the outside part of the plate. When you prove you can go inside to some of these hitters. And I'll tell you, that's the Indians made a conscious effort in this series, the first time we're playing Detroit, to do that all series long.
He checks. They appeal. He didn't go. Well, again, when you face Detroit, the guys in front of Miguel Cabrera, even though he's not in the lineup, those are the important ones.
Yeah.
And they've done a number on Ian Kinsler, who came in hitting about 360, I think, on the year. They've held him to 2 hits and 14 at-bats.
Well, he came into the series with 4 consecutive multi-hit games.
Yeah.
Going. Well, they stopped that on Friday night, although he did get a hit. They stopped his 10-game hitting streak yesterday. He did get a hit in his last at-bat. I mean, Kinsler was swinging the bat as well as anybody.
Line it to short. That'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We've played 5. It's the Indians 6 and the Tigers 2.
Tickets offer the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. Today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Francona. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Roberto Perez back in the box, leading off here in the 6th. He was at bat when Tyler Naquin was thrown out trying to steal down the top of the 5th inning. Up and away, 2-0. It's down and in. And it's quickly 3 balls, no strikes. And Roberto Perez has already walked twice in the ballgame. Doesn't have a hit yet on the year, but he's on the verge of his 6th base on balls. How about that?
Yeah. Well, he was up there with down 2 strikes in his last at bat, and Naquin tried to delayed steal.
You know, the Tigers, as I mentioned, open up the season 6-2. Since then, they've lost 6 out of 8. And after last night's game, they closed the doors and had a little meeting. Let's go down for more on that with Andre.
Yes, they had a 30-minute meeting afterwards. Brad Ausmus didn't want to make a big deal about it. He says when they started off 6-2, people were printing playoff tickets and World Series tickets. Because you lose 6 of 8, and he goes, suddenly the world is ending. He just wants everybody to find a happy medium. But he really got on the starting pitching. He said, look, if they can't get through the first few innings, we're going to have problems all season long.
No question about that. Santana quickly bangs into a 6-4-3 double play. And I think you could say that about a lot of teams with regards to the state of Major League Baseball right now. It's about starting pitching. And if you don't have it, or if you don't have enough of it, you don't really have a chance.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ausmus certainly did not want to close doors 16 games into a season. You certainly don't want to do that.
Jason Kipnis 2 for 3, couple of singles and a run scored.
Well, it's Zimmerman, the guy they went out and signed from Washington. He's pitched 3 games and hasn't allowed a run yet. About 19 1/3 innings. The Indians, lucky enough, we don't have to face him in this series. He'll be starting tomorrow for him when Oakland comes to town.
Kipnis fouls it back. Now the 0-2, almost to the backstop. And a foul back again. Jason with a ground ball to first. Romine takes it himself. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. The Indians leading it 6-2. Tomorrow in Minnesota, Tribe takes on Brian Dozier and the Twins. Our coverage begins with Indians live at 7:30, and then the first pitch at 8 right here on Sports Time Ohio. April in the OH, presented by Meyer. Home half of the 6th here at Comerica Park in Detroit. Lovely afternoon, big crowd on hand, but it's been all Indians once again here today. 6 runs on 10 hits for Cleveland. 2 runs on 4 hits for Detroit. And 3 of the 4 Tigers hits came in a span of 5 batters in the 4th inning when they plated their only 2 runs. Trevor Bauer getting the call in long relief here today. We have action in the Indians bullpen as Bauer is closing in on 50 pitches in this relief outing. Jeff Manship is getting loose in the Tribe pen, the right-hander.
Right now, Bauer has gone 2 1/3 innings out of the bullpen. Having to come in with 2 outs in the 3rd for Carrasco.
Rode that high fastball at 96 up in the zone, and Iglesias just got a piece of it.
Yeah, he did him a favor the pitch before by speeding up his bat with the breaking ball. He's been able to get inside on him. He swung at a bad pitch in his last at bat.
Weekly tap towards second baseman Jason Kipnis. One away.
Well, kids tickets start at just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. All kids tickets are located in the family deck at Progressive Field, home to the expanded kids clubhouse. You can get your kids tickets only on Indians.com.
Victor Martinez singled and scored in the 4th inning for Detroit. He takes a strike from Bauer. Missed outside to even it up. Shift on for Martinez with Kipnis out in shallow right field. It's up and away 2-1. On Friday night, Martinez blistered a ball right at Jason Kipnis. He came off the bat at well over 100 miles an hour, but with that shift on, it was an easy out. High drive to center. Tyler Naquin sprinting back and makes the catch. That is a long fly ball out, 2 down.
Yeah, it's a good ballpark to play center field in. You get to cover a lot of ground, run your routes, and when they're, especially when they're hit that high, it gives you plenty of time to get underneath them.
Two down for J.D. Martinez, who singled in the 2nd inning. And then the last time up facing Bauer, he got jammed by a pitch that almost took his thumbs off. Swings and misses here. It's 1-1.
Yeah, this is a guy that has done a lot of damage to the Indians in the past.
Lifts that one. This is going to be trouble. Can't get to it. Nobody can. Ford will scoop it up. And J.D. Martinez has a little bloop 2-out single.
Well, no way to defense this. It's just a ball that's hitting right there. Devil's triangle. 3 guys converging. Nobody can get there. Just bloops right in.
That's, I guess you would call that a statistical anomaly, because that's the kind of ball you don't expect him to hit. Usually he hits the ball on the ground 9 times out of 10 it's to the left side. If he hits it in the air, it's usually crushed.
Yeah, and he can go out to right field, but he was jammed on that one and couldn't have placed it any better.
Nick Castellanos a 2-run single with 2 outs in the 4th inning. The only runs for the Tigers here today. He's been swinging the bat well, though, after having his 8-game hitting streak stopped yesterday.
Think about it, when you can come into this ballpark, and right now the Tigers have scored a total of 4 runs. And this is being game number 3, and you're in the 6th inning. Pretty darn good job by your pitching.
Yeah, I don't believe in the idea of sending messages. I don't think that really exists in baseball, but the Indians have at least shown that they can come in here and pitch and beat this team, which I'm not sure from a confidence standpoint. I'm not sure they believe they could do that a year ago.
Well, this has been a tough place. Although last year they went 4-5 in this ballpark. And then the Tigers, it's like when they come to Progressive Field, that's their home park. They've played so well in that place. But it started to turn around the last time we came to Detroit here.
Yeah, they won 2 out of 3 the last time here in September, won 2 out of 3 against them in Cleveland. But, you know, the cynic might look at that and say, well, it was September, and
yeah,
both teams were kind of fading out of it.
No, it's a new year. It's a fresh start. And the Indians are off to a good start against the Tigers. That's the only thing you care about.
2-2 foul back.
There'll be plenty more meetings. Matter of fact, next homestand we get off this road trip, guess who comes to town? It'll be the Tigers. We'll face them there. Third, fourth, and fifth.
Grounded right at the third baseman, Uribe. He'll flip it to second, and the inning is over. 6 complete. Cleveland 6, Detroit 2. Is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough. Seventh inning in Detroit, Comerica Park, where the Indians lead it 6-2. Trevor Bauer looks like his day is over, getting handshakes in the dugout. Fine job in long relief in a tough spot where, you know, they say be ready for anything, but you don't plan on going into the ball game in the third inning for a pitcher who got hurt covering the bag in a routine play, but that's what happened. Bauer has done a fantastic job, and the offense has continued to put the heat on. 10 more hits today after 15 hits yesterday. Matt Boyd delivers, but missing. 1-1 the count on Lindor. And there's a base hit into center field. And Francisco Lindor has reached safe weight all 4 times today.
Yeah, well, Frankie, 3 hits. Well, Trevor Bauer this afternoon, he ended up having 4 strikeouts, and I'll tell you, he pitched some of the guys inside as well. That's one right there where he really jammed J.D. Martinez. He's found his share. Callaway talking to him. Perez going over, obviously, some pictures and some sequences.
Mike Napoli is 0 for 3 today for Cleveland. But again, it's another day where the Indians have had contributions from a number of different people in the lineup. You know, Kipnis has had 2 hits, Lindor's had 3, but Jose Ramirez with 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored.
Yeah.
Marlon Byrd, 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. Uribe's driven in a run with a hit. Tyler Naquin, the RBI triple. Napoli is swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Almost to the backstop. Nice grab by Saltalamacchia.
Yes, it was. I saw it coming right out of the webbing right there. He didn't have an extra inch. Nice backhand. Watch it go right in the edge of the glove. That one could have easily gotten back to the screen.
Swung out and missed. And the count is 2-2. Napoli goes fishing, chased one up high. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite and Jose Ramirez. As much as we've talked about Carlos Santana going into the leadoff spot in the order, a stroke of genius by Terry Francona in this series, how about Jose Ramirez in the 5-hole today? Not sure we would have seen that coming back in spring training.
You're right, couple of hits, couple of ribs, scored a pair.
Just as we start singing his praises, pops one up on the infield, 2 down. But he's had a good day. Tigers pitcher Matt Boyd doing a pretty good job of long relief now for Detroit.
Yes, he is. He's thrown 30 pitches, 21 of them have been strikes.
And he's an interesting story, Rick, because I was reading a couple of years ago. He got a call up, and this is just going from A ball to double A. But when he got the call up, he said, I thought I had to sort of reinvent myself and make an adjustment, make some changes because I was going up a level in competition.
Better, yeah.
And it backfired on him. His ERA was almost 7. And he said after the season, did a lot of soul searching, and I realized I didn't have the confidence to pitch at Double A. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And he said, I just had to get back to, I just have to trust who I am. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay, I'll go home.
That's good that he could realize that. You learn that at that, point in your life from A ball to Double A, because when you go from AAA to the big leagues, you have to remember the same thing. I got to go up and be myself and trust myself, whether they're major league hitters or not. You make your pitches, you should be fine. And he's pitched ahead, and I think he's been the best reliever I've seen come out of that bullpen this weekend.
Well, and I think that, as you said, learning that lesson when he did, the timeliness of it couldn't have been any better, because the very next year, last season, he's in the big leagues for the first time. And if you don't come here with confidence, you won't last long at all.
We'll see what happens with Shane Green with that, his finger bleeding out. I don't know if they'll put him on the DL or whether he'll be able to pitch, but this young man's done a nice job.
Francisco Lindor had the leadoff single. After a strikeout and a pop-up, he's still standing on first for Marlon Byrd, who's driven in a couple of runs today by spraying the ball all over. An RBI hit to right, an RBI hit up the middle.
Yeah, they had three RBI singles with 2 outs back in the 5th inning. Byrd had one of them.
Go back to the series opener, and Marlon Byrd had a huge hit for the Indians after the Tigers had tied the game. In the 7th inning, he came out and homered off Justin Verlander to the seats in right field.
The very first pitch of that inning. They sent him out, Verlander back out in the 7th after 107 pitches, I believe it was.
Now, Verlander said after the game, I was trying to go up and away with a fastball, and he said he found it with the barrel, and that's what happens.
Yes, he did. He put a good swing on it. That was all the scoring right there. Some solo home runs.
Marlin told Andre after the game, you know, when you get to this stage in your career, those are the matchups that really kind of get the juices flowing. You know, he's been around a long time. Verlander's been around a long time. And
let's go.
Yep.
Mano a mano, baby. You beat me or I get you. That's what it's all about.
Fouled straight back. He also said he could sense the intensity in the clubhouse about this rivalry, this series. Yeah, sure, it's only April, but this has been a real thorn for the Indians in their side, the Tigers. He's been patient in this at bat, working the count full. And Lindor will try to get as good a jump as he can here, though Romine will still hold him at first.
Yeah, he just makes sure the pitcher throws it home. That's all you do. You don't have to worry about getting a jump.
And it's a low ball 4. Second walk issued by Boyd, even though he's thrown a ton of strikes. But that was just a good veteran at bat by Marlon Byrd. He really grinded that one out.
This is the key. That's why Salto Lomaki's going out and talking to the young pitcher. Let's go. We got another veteran hitter here, so let's stay aggressive, get ahead of him, go to work. We have 2 outs in the inning.
Juan Uribe drove in a run with a base hit to center field his last time up. Popped back out of play. Uribe with a big swing and a miss. White Sox Rangers still tied 1-1. They're in the 5th inning. Baltimore and Kansas City also tied at 1. They're in the 5th inning at Kauffman Stadium. The Yankees have been unable to overcome the 5-run first inning by Tampa. Rays lead the Yankees 7-1. They're in the 8th inning in New York. Uribe sends a fly ball to center field. Anthony goes, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Tribe strands a pair. Stretch time in the Motor City. Indians up 6-1. As we go to the bottom of the 7th here in Detroit, before we tell you about the changes for the Tribe, let's go down to Andre Knott.
You know, Francisco Lindor made that play last night or yesterday afternoon where he fell down and then he started smiling. So today we talked to Terry Francona about the smile that Francisco Lindor has, and does it rub him the wrong way or rub people the wrong way? And Arch, I know you said a couple days ago the unwritten rules of baseball are gone. And one thing that Terry Francona said is he goes, looks, it is his character. It's who he is. He goes, it's not fake. He's not showing anybody up. He goes, as long as he's doing that, it's not a problem. I asked Omar Vizquel the same thing, and he goes, if anything, out of the young shortstops, that's what he likes about Frankie, that he's himself and he brings creativity and joy to the position.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. You can go out on that field. You're not showing anybody up, man. You're out there doing your job. You can have fun. You have to be able to laugh at yourself, or your teammates can laugh at you, and that's exactly what happened. And why not? What's wrong with that? I think it's great.
Look, the unwritten rules were never written, so what does it matter?
That's right. Well, no, you can always have fun on the field. I don't know if they're unwritten or whatever they are, but it's all about those unwritten rules are about respecting the game, if anything. Just because you smile out on the field doesn't mean you're disrespecting.
Look, Goose Gossage is one of the game's all-time greats, and I have the utmost respect for what he did for the game and how he represented each team that he played for. And he's entitled to his opinion, and he's not happy with the way some guys display emotion or the way some guys react on the field. And there are going to be instances and cases where somebody does something it might rub you the wrong way, and I wholeheartedly understand that. But I also think that Commissioner Rob Manfred was spot on when he said, look, the young players on the game today, they are our game. The Francisco Lindor, he's the future of our game right now. And you have to let these guys be themselves, as long as you pointed out, as long as they're doing it within a respectful manner. There's a point where you could go overboard.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Well, you'll find out when you do.
One down for Mike Aviles, who is 0 for 2. Just missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Back out of play. And Aviles down on strikes. McAllister takes care of him for out number 2. In recognition of Earth Day, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Surfrider Foundation in celebration of this month's Every Day is Earth Day initiative. By making simple changes in our daily lives, we can make a big impact on our environment. Go to foxsportsupports.com for more information. Andrew Romine walked his last time up. Two balls, no strikes. And Romine can't catch up to the heat. 2-1. It says that McAllister's throwing more balls than strikes, but it doesn't seem that way, does it?
No, you're right. It doesn't.
And just as I say that, he falls behind Romine 3-1. walks him. Romine, the 8th place hitter who is 1 for 9 on the year, has walked in each of his last 2 plate appearances. And it will bring up Anthony Goes, who's 0 for his last 12 at the plate. Right back. And a strike call. Goes quickly in the hole. 0-2.
Nice breaking ball there from McAllister. He's using that a lot more, it seems like, this year, and he has command of it, not overthrowing it. He has started hitters off with it this year for strike 1.
And the 0-2 swung on and missed. McAllister strikes him out. Fans a pair here in the 7th. And we roll on to the 8th inning with the Indians in command, 6-2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Indians with a 6-2 lead, 8th inning. Tribe with 3 in the 4th, 3 more in the 5th. It was a weird game the way it started, with Carlos Carrasco having to exit in the 3rd inning after 2 outs. When he injured his left hamstring covering the bag at first base, he went down writhing in pain. He had to be helped off the field. And then in the top half of the 4th inning, after 1 batter, Shane Green, the Tiger starter, he had to leave the game. He was bleeding from his pitching hand. Later revealed that it was a blister that had been torn open, so he was out of the game. And as you said, Rick, it was a game that was going to be decided by the bullpens, and the Tigers bullpen was pierced quickly by the Indians bats, as they would score 3 in that 4th inning and then 3 more in the 5th. Meanwhile, the Indians bullpen has been very good. Trevor Bauer went 3 in the 3rd, gave up 2 runs. Zach McAllister worked a perfect, or I should say scoreless 7th inning. And now here we are into the 8th. And depending on the severity of the hamstring injury to Carlos Carrasco, the Indians will be looking at potentially a couple of roster moves before tomorrow's game in Minneapolis, or maybe only one. Who knows? Grounder right back to the pitcher. Oakland will be retired, 1 away. We expect Michael Brantley will be activated for tomorrow's series opener in Minnesota. Indians box score today. Carlos Santana, who had been the spark plug at the top of the lineup in this series. He was 4 for 9 coming in, but they've held him off the board today. But look at the contributions up and down the lineup. Even Roberto Perez with 3 walks today.
Yeah, and you're right. Guy that's only making his 3rd start. He's looking for his first hit, but he's been on 3 times today. Look at the Indians again, getting some crooked numbers on the board. They scored first again for the 3rd time in this series. 10 hits again. And good pitching. Unfortunately, Carrasco went down.
Yeah. If they don't have to DL Carrasco, they'll have to make some kind of a roster move to get Michael Brantley activated tomorrow.
Well, they may wait for Carrasco. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not DL the way he came.
Sure did not look good. He could not put any weight on that left leg as he left the field or left the dugout.
Right. When he was walking in that dugout, a guy under each arm, I'm thinking to myself, ouch, that doesn't look good at all.
The 2-2. Checked his swing. And an easy play for Romine. 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and again, if you tuned in late, this was what happened to Carrasco. It was in the 3rd inning. He was just going over to cover first on what looked like a routine play, but right before the last step to the bag, right here, something in that left leg gave loose.
Yes, it sure did. The hammy.
And it was revealed later that it was a hamstring injury as he grabbed for it initially. Carlos Santana leading off once again, and today at first base. He had DH the first 2 games. Got to go back to Willie Upshaw in 1988, the last Indians first baseman to bat leadoff in a game. Slowly chopped to 3rd. And a nice play by Castellanos. The Indians go 1-2-3 for just the 2nd time today. Keys to the game brought to you by Mazda. Get the early lead. When the Indians score first, they're 7-1 this year. Trying to run that to 8-1. And keep the big bats in check. And for the most part, they've done that. The only runs for Detroit today came in the 4th inning when Nick Castellanos drove in a pair with a 2-out single. Brian Shaw coming on to pitch the 8th, the 4th Indians pitcher to work here today. Zach McAllister with a scoreless inning, walk 1, struck out 2. Top of the order for Detroit, Ian Kinsler will lead it off.
Shaw pitched an inning in Friday night's game. He had a couple of strikeouts and zeros across the board.
Kinsler trying to hold up, but
I'm saying the home plate umpire said call it a strike.
yeah, I thought he went around 1-on-1. Called the pitch or called the swing?
I think the swing.
Okay. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. And Kinsler cuts and misses 2-2.
Nice slider.
First place White Sox have gone ahead of the Rangers 3-1 in the 6th. Painted, I mean just perfect pitch on the outside corner at the kneecaps. 1 away.
It's really a nice sequence by Shaw. He just dropped that the slider on him at 81 and throws that cut fastball right on the outside edge, and it's boom, right on the corner at the knees, gets the call, and Kinsler knew it.
Jose Iglesias 0 for 3 on the day. And he looks at a first pitch strike. Back out of play. Iglesias able to lay off the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It was off the plate. Well, with 2 strikes, I thought maybe he'd expand his strike zone. Tempt him again. He lays off once again. He just golfed that one into left field. That's amazing, you know. He laid off a couple of really close pitches. That one didn't even look like it was going to be close to a strike, but he went down and got it.
Yeah, he did. That breaking ball just up in front of home plate. Hit it right off the end of the bat, but didn't try to pull it. Puts it in play and gets a base hit. It's a 6th hit for the Tigers.
Just outside, ball 1. 1 on, 1 out here in the 8th. Indians on top 6-2. And Victor shoots one the other way, but foul. Deep center field, long run for Naquin, can't get it. Iglesias coming around third, he will score, and Victor Martinez gets the Tigers a run closer. It's now 6-3 in the 8th. That ball was hit a long way.
Boy, was it ever. I knew he was going to go to left field in that situation. He's going to force you. He's not going to try to pull the ball, but he drove it. I mean, really drove it. Naquin dives. And not necessary to dive there, stay on your feet, but it didn't matter. The run was going to score anyway. Martinez gets into second base. So he drives it a long way to center field. It is now a 6-3 game with 1 out.
Yeah, J.D. Martinez, the batter, and he is 2 for 3 on the day with a couple of singles. Here comes Brad Ausmus for some reason.
What's he out checking Shaw for something? I don't know. No?
Well, he wants to go and ask the crew chief, Gary Cedarstrom, something.
Now they're calling Tito out. What's going on?
A lot of mystery and intrigue unfolding here in Detroit. It's a 6-3 game in the bottom of the 8th. Now they're going to Brian Shaw.
Yeah, were they looking for something? Pints are something. Look at.
He's got a rubber ring. It says wedding ring.
It's in his glove hand.
Was it showing maybe? Is that what, did somebody think it was a distraction or something?
I have no idea.
Oh my goodness.
He's laughing about it. But back he comes.
You think they were complaining that that was a distraction or something?
Who knows? Maybe it's just to cause commotion, to slow the game down a little bit. I don't know. Well, they didn't make him take it off. He still has it on, so you must say if it's on the glove hand, it's fine.
Popped up. I mean, if they're thinking that he could do something to doctor the baseball, it's, I believe that ring is made of rubber. Just something you wear in place of the actual wet. Here comes Ausmus again. Look, Brian Shaw's like, look, you want me to take it off? I'll take it off, for crying out loud. Look at him. He just took it off and put it in his pocket.
He's saying can't have it on, that's a rule. I'm reading lips correctly. He took it off. And now he took it off. Yeah, a little gamesmanship here. It's been that kind of day. It's been a weird game.
Yeah. That's really weird, though. The 0-1 is up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's one way to kick off a season series between these two. Create a little bad blood. And J.D. Martinez can't catch up. It's 1-2. Shaw ready, he delivers. Just a little bit outside, and the count evens up. Tell you one thing, if it was a matter of gamesmanship, I wouldn't do it after my team had just had a couple of hits. I might fire him up.
Well, they were watching something over there, and
Shaw blew it right by him. He said, all right, want to complain about my ring? Watch this. Second strikeout of the inning, 2 down.
Goes with a fastball upstairs. J.D. Martinez couldn't catch up to it. Out number 2.
And Roberto Perez out for a quick chat as Nick Castellanos comes to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day.
10 strikeouts for Indians pitching today.
Perfect pitch, and I don't know. Something wrong with it. Ball 1. That one's just a bit outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Castellanos looking all the way. It's right down the heart of the plate. Off-speed pitch in for a strike. 2-1.
Yeah, throws the slider there. 2-0. Drops it in for a strike. As a hitter, you're looking for that fastball.
Down to the dirt. 3-1. Close pitch, and that at bat went the way of the hitter. And the last thing Shaw wanted to do was walk Castellanos and now bring the tying run to the plate.
No doubt. I mean, you'll look at the sequence and the pitches. And that one just a little bit off the outside edge. So
well, now you got the big boy, Saltalamacchia, who leads the Tigers with 6 home runs on the year. He's 0 for 3 here this afternoon. And for the first time really in the game, the Tigers showing signs of life. They did have a 2-run 4th inning in which they closed the gap to a run. But now threatening here in the 8th. And Lindor coming in from shortstop position. Perez going out. And here comes Mickey Callaway as well.
Yeah, I figured Mickey would be out there.
Jeff Manship getting loose once again. Callaway trying to get Shaw back on point. I mean, the way Shaw sort of lapped it off, you wouldn't think that Brad Ausmus intervening in the middle of the inning trying to make a big deal about Shaw's wedding band would have unnerved him at all. But you do wonder.
Look who's lurking.
Cabrera has grabbed a bat.
He'll be up if this guy reaches. Or he gets on. He'll be up for a Phillies.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Saltalamacchia wails away, fouling it back, 2-1. Now the 2-1. Way upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. And this ball game may still have a few twists and turns left in it. He walked him and the bases are loaded, and now Miguel Cabrera will be coming to the plate.
Yeah, you get your one shot, and this is the shot for the Tigers right now. Shaw. Now Manship is up and throwing in that Indians bullpen. But you had the strikeout, then you had the Iglesias single that he went down to get, and then Victor Martinez drove a ball to left center field, but Terry's not going to let that happen. He's going to go get Brian Shaw.
Miguel Cabrera has been announced, and this crowd of better than 31,000 rising to its feet. But they'll have to wait for this at bat as Terry Francona replaces Brian Shaw. And we'll be right back to Detroit. In Detroit, the Indians led it 6-2 when the inning began, but some shenanigans after the Tigers got a double and an RBI from Victor Martinez. Brad Ausmus came out. He questioned a wedding ring that was being worn by Indians pitcher Brian Shaw. He left. Shaw struck out J.D. Martinez, then walked the next 2 hitters to load the bases. Shaw is out. Jeff Manship is in. Miguel Cabrera pinch hitting here with the bases loaded and 2 out on the bottom of the 8th. And for all intents and purposes, this is the ball game.
Struggled over his last 5 or 6 games, but you have a point in time in a ball game and you use him. You couldn't pick a better time with 2 outs here. The bases loaded.
And it's low and away, ball 1. I got a question for you, but I want to wait till Manship makes this pitch. Popped him up.
And if it stays
is
in,
it playable?
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera will watch this one go into the Indians dugout, and he takes a huge sigh of relief as the count is 1-1. Now I know he's 0 for his last 12, but given his history against the Indians and the 4-time batting champion that he is, would you consider just pitching around him and walking in a run to go after Andrew Romine, who's on deck?
Who's to say he'll hit? Because you've got Upton on the bench too that they could pinch hit. No, you're just careful with him. You're not going to throw him anything down the middle. The tying run is on first base. He is the winning run.
Swung on and missed, and a great slider by Manship on the outside part of the plate.
Catching Cabrera when he has struggled. That's why he had the off day. It's a beautiful breaking ball. Something off it, going straight down, gets the swing and miss.
Manship ready in the 1-2. Went to the same pitch, but well off the plate. And Cabrera takes it for ball 2 to even the count. $31,947 up and roaring here in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-2 in the dirt and a full count. Now the payoff pitch. Popped up. Foul territory. Santana makes the catch, and the inning is over. Jeff Manship slays the Dragon. Cabrera pops out. The Tigers leave him loaded. We go to the 9th inning, and Jason Kipnis is going to lead off for Cleveland, and Francisco Lindor and Mike Napoli. Tyler Collins in the ballgame now in left field for Mike Aviles after Cabrera pinch hit for him. Matt Boyd has done a heck of a job in long relief.
Yeah, if there's any positive coming out of this for Detroit, it's that guy right there, the left-hander that has come in out of the bullpen and done a wonderful job.
Bob Feller would be proud of his distant relative. Pitch outside. Almost nicked him, but Kipnis got out of the way.
Let's see if the Indians can come back and score a couple here to take any hope away from them now.
Strike at the bottom of the zone. And Kipnis can't catch up to the high heat. Second strikeout for Boyd, 1 down. Our play of the game brought to you by Pat O'Brien. And boy, this was a great matchup here.
Well, he went with that slider and 1-1. He evened it up and fouled one off. Another good slider, and he stayed right with it. He was going to get him to hit his pitch or miss. He got away with one there. That one, he had too much of the plate on, but you know what? It jammed him. And he popped it up, and Santana makes the play. Out of the inning.
Another pop-up, foul territory. Roma in the first baseman backpedaling, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Well, the Indians' designated hitter, Mike Napoli, coming to the plate. Down low, ball 1. Just a bit outside, 2-0. Yeah. I think Mike took a big swing, didn't he?
Yeah, well, big swing, and what he does is Boyd just pulls the string and throws a nice changeup about 81 miles an hour, and he has him way out in front.
Down low, and it's 3-1.
See if he comes back with that changeup again.
Up and in with a fastball, and he walks him. So a 2-out base runner for Jose Ramirez, who's had a good day with 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. In fact, all 3 of Jose's hits in the series, each one of them has driven in a run. It's a final in the Bronx. Tampa Bay beat the Yankees 8-1. Toronto doubled up Oakland 6-3 at the Rogers Center. Minnesota has gone ahead of Washington 4-1. They're in the 8th in our nation's capital. Throw down the first. Napoli just did get back ahead of the 10. Kansas City leads Baltimore 4-1 in the 7th. White Sox lead the Rangers 3-1 there in the 7th. So the rest of the Central Division doing well today. And this divisional matchup going the way of the Indians to this point, as the Tribe closing in on a 3-game sweep of Detroit. And a hot shot hit the short, ends the inning. Bottom of the 9th coming up in the Motor City. Ninth here in Detroit. And Cody Allen coming on for Cleveland, looking for his 6th save on the year.
Well, Romine's going to be the leadoff hitter. It looks like I see Upton's out there as well. He may be hitting for ghosts.
Lonnie Chisenhall takes over for Marlon Byrd in right field. So Andrew Romine going to lead it off for Detroit, with Upton in the on-deck circle to bat for goes. Swing and a miss. Had a good belt high fastball at 95 miles an hour. Outside with a heater. Don't forget, later tonight, tune in to Fox Sports Ohio for the Cavaliers and the Pistons. Game 4, the NBA playoffs. Cavs with a chance to sweep the series and move on to round 2. Fred, AC, now he will have the action for you. 2-strike pitch. Bounce to short. What a play by Lindor. A spin, a throw right on the money to retire Romine to start the bottom of the 9th. You don't want to give him any signs of life, and this is a key play here.
You see Cody had to get out of the way, but Lindor went up and took a nice hop for him, about belt high, and able to spin, pick up your target, make a good throw, just in time. Out number one. Good play.
Now Justin Upton pinch hitting and takes down low ball one. Justin Upton is 1 for 7 in the series, and he has struck out 5 times.
Yeah, that's been his problem on the season. On the year, he has 3 walks and 30 strikeouts in 69 at bats. So he has swung and missed a lot.
And the 1-1 inside corner, called a strike. Fly ball left field, and Rajay Davis will make the catch, and there are 2 down. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler. Kinsler 1 for 4 today, and as you see there, just 2 for 11 in the series. Two balls, no strikes. Indians trying to make it 7 wins in their last 9 meetings with Detroit. The 2-0. Rip foul. Look out. That hit a seat and carried him about 30 feet in the air. A few more empty seats now. A lot of folks headed for the exits after Miguel Cabrera popped up to end the 8th with the bases loaded.
Yeah, they pretty much all went to the exit at the same time.
Three balls and a strike.
This is a guy, Ian Kinsler. He never met a fastball he didn't like it. That doesn't matter how hard you throw. The harder, the better for this guy.
He can lean on it.
Oh, he sure can.
Well, the count is full as Cody Allen zeroes in on the target. And the right-hander's payoff pitch. Swinging a foul right back.
A kick save by Perez.
Now Cody's 3-2 offering. Swung out and missed. He struck him out to end the ball game. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Cody Allen as he nails down the save. And the Indians have their first 3-game win streak of the season as they go to 9-7, sweeping the Tigers here in Detroit for the first time since 2008. The Tigers have now dropped 4 in a row as they fall under 500 at 8-9. The Tribe will head to Minnesota with a record of 9-7. The winning pitcher today will